Okay, here we go. I'm gonna.
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. What are you doing? Wait, what's who doing? I don't know what I'm talking about here. I'm Dino and
I'm Aleece.
yes, and we are going to jump on and talk about. I don't usually do Mondays, but I wanted to talk Halloween here a little bit, and by no means get angry at me, Halloween fans, because I am a Halloween fan. That's why I'm here talking about this.
Right.
Because I love the character Michael Myers. I love that his character originally was the boogeyman.
Or the shape.
Or the shape,
Yeah.
but I say boogeyman because...
And they said it a lot in this movie.
Yes, oh God. And they shouldn't have. One of my big gripes about this thing is he's a boogeyman. He's not a relentless, maniacal killer that's just, I don't know. They made him out way more than he's supposed to be. And that might be the old school horror lover in me. And see, this is the thing, you guys. And thanks everybody for showing up in the chat. Edward Stewart, Brian Kirkham, Teresa, Winslow Swan, Vicky Alcorn, Starman is here. New movie blows, Starman. Yeah. Well, she'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. We have different views. I'm not crapping on it, but I got some things I want to get out there. Connie Clary, you guys all know who you are. Bubba. We did just pass 60K subscribers last night, so made it. We'll try to have some kind of party this week, but man, I got so much going on. But we'll do something. But Halloween Kills. David Gordon Green, and the more I listen to this guy talk about this movie, the more I'm just going, okay, they gave this to a guy who really don't care much for old school horror.
Right.
That's my opinion. And you got 3 writers here, and I know this is the middle of 3 movies, but it seemed like it was all over the place.
Yeah, you could see that there were different voices pulling it in different directions, and it did not all gel together as one cohesive piece.
No, this middle movie was a mess. It was a mess. Not to point out, and another thing. See, I'm so hyper about this that I gotta control myself, bring it down, and then start talking about certain subjects. Okay, I heard David Gordon Green talking today about this Michael Myers. Okay, old school, he's the boogeyman. He's slow, methodical, and he's got kind of a mission. Okay, back then it was going after certain people. You know what I mean? That's the old school Michael Myers that I love. And I'll tell you, let me say right off the bat here before we go off on our tangent, because a lot of people are going to say, I'm not going to watch the rest of this. He just hates it. You know what would have been fantastic for a reboot of like Michael Myers, like David Gordon Green to 2018, like how he did it? Let's do a trilogy. Let's make it maniacal.
Everything has to be a trilogy now.
Yeah, well, and let's turn it into gore. Not that there wasn't gore in the old horror movie. It was different.
Right.
But, let's turn it into all of that. But if they would have went the way of like Stranger Things, and nobody thinks this way. Why do I think this way? Why don't I got the money to do this? But if you go the way of like Stranger Things and that whole nostalgia kick, even though David Gordon Green and these people, they threw a bunch of nostalgia in there, but that nostalgia meant nothing to me. It didn't. And we'll talk about it. I think it might have to you, but it didn't to me because it didn't feel like a Halloween movie. It didn't feel like it was Michael Myers. But what they should have done was go the route of Stranger Things. do a throwback. Okay, if you're going to go like from that night, 1978, and you know, let's forget everything after, you know, whatever second and all that. Let's throw it back to a like an 80s, you know, kind of thing. He was in the hospital, maybe escapes 2 years later, you know. Maybe it's like 1980, you know. Maybe it's 1984. Yeah. Let's throw it back there. Let's keep that same slow-paced Michael Myers going after Laurie's. Well, you know, then Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. Okay. But you know what? My thought was you don't really need Jamie Lee Curtis, but if you're going 2 years ahead, maybe you do. But well, that blows my idea there. But I would.
Sorry.
No. I would have liked to have seen them go nostalgic that way, like a kind of a throwback. You know, the beginning of this movie with the nostalgia and the throwback there. Anyways. Yeah, that doesn't work. But what could they have done? Made it more like it should have been, a little bit more slow paced. But go ahead. Yes. Let you talk a little bit and let me get my thoughts together
first,
here.
I want to point out because there are things in this movie that I genuinely really did enjoy. There was Big and Little John there. My precious heart.
Big and Little John.
Robert Longstreet as Lonnie. My husband and I just both love this man. We like every time we see him in something, like I just want to hug him. You just recently, he was in Midnight Mass, and he was also in Haunting of Hill House and Dr. Sleep, and this guy is just incredible. I kind of wish there was more of him in the movie because I adore him.
Well, yeah. Well, what was this? It's interesting that they took Jamie Lee Curtis and they put her in the background here and kept her in the hospital, because I think she's going to have a bigger role in the first one, and now they're going to end it next year with her being a big part of the second one.
Right,
but throwing in Tommy Doyle and...
I would love to see... I love seeing Anthony Michael Hall.
Me too. But not in this way. I mean, it was just all... the point I was trying to make there when I was bringing all that up, David Gordon Green said something in an interview. He goes, Michael Myers is not a supernatural being.
But
I'm like going,
a supernatural being in this one.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like going, and this is David Gordon Green saying, there's no way. I want him to be able to carry on and become this power that's pulling the energy from people, but he's not a supernatural killer. And I'm like going, you stick a knife in somebody 1,000 times, you ride over him with it. Everything they did to this guy, he's supernatural. Why would you deny that?
And that is just so emblematic of one of the main issues that I have with this movie, because it wants to do too many different things at once and very contradictory things.
Yeah.
They want on one hand, they want you to feel for the victims, but then they also want you to be like, oh, wow, look at these amazing kills, and this is kind of fun. But then we're buying into the fear, and I'm not sure what the messaging of this movie was so convoluted and just all over the place. Trying to do commentary on mob mentality and trauma, which the 2018 Halloween, I thought how it explored like trauma and generational trauma was pretty well done. This one, not so much, because they're trying to say, oh, the entire town of Haddonfield is scarred by Michael Myers, and they've been living with this festering fear and grief for 40 years, and it just all explodes. But in Halloween 2018, you didn't get that sense at all. Like the whole town was
not as much
by it.
No.
And so that just kind of...
Yeah, and that's kind of what was a little bit better with 2018. Even though I had issues with 2018, this one, it's almost like a virus was set loose in the town, and they all became zombies, like the mob mentality.
Right. It felt like a Purge movie or a zombie movie.
Yes, exactly. And when you get the entire town acting like rabid lunatics.
And all at the hospital for some reason.
That scene, and again, spoilers galore, so if you don't want to hear it, go.
Yeah, it said in the title, sorry,
but,
spoilers.
No,
yes.
I mean, that's everything's going to be talked about, spoilers. But and we're jumping all over the place because we think it's, we're just bringing up points in the movie. Yeah, no, that hospital scene towards the end when Jamie Lee's in there and, the one, they say in the movie about the two psychiatric patients.
Right.
That even though they only show one.
Well, I think it was the other one was Michael. But
Okay,
they thought
two.
that...
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, those are the two that were...
So that poor guy's still walking around in his gown, and the mob thinks that that's Michael Myers. It's like, come on, what are you doing?
That just brought the movie to a grinding halt.
Okay, yeah, and let me try to. We'll go to the beginning, and I'm watching what you guys are saying here. I'm so pumped up and wanting to talk about this a little bit that I'm all over the place. Some of it's not making sense. But let's get to the beginning of the movie. When Michael comes out of that, the house, first of all, when they fall in, and Michael's he's behind that little garage door.
With the guns.
Yeah. So I could see him not getting really too burned that way. So, them making him come out that way, I guess I can see it, At the end of 2018, I'm like going, how are they even going to do that?
That's what I was wondering too, how to do it to make it make sense.
But,
and
yeah.
Okay, I can go with that. One thing, so the the firefighters come and the floor breaks through and he kills the first firefighter. And this got to both me and my husband, because when he stabs him through like the face shield, and it makes a glass shattering sound.
Yeah.
Their face shields are not made out of glass. It would not It would not have a glass breaking sound. It's like made of like polycarbonate. It's not.
Is that what you're dissecting?
That was what I know it's that's like such a little thing, but I'm like, oh come on, it wouldn't do that.
And not just that. I mean, I hear you, but that whole scene where he goes like mass murder all the firefighters was just not Michael Myers.
It was a cool scene, but it didn't quite feel like
no. And you could, if you're looking at who it was, James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle played him sometimes too, like last time. But when you see his movements, I'm like going, what, did this dude take some jiu-jitsu classes and stuff like that? Because he's going phew. Shoot, I mean, I'm like going, wow, his energy's really, maybe there was a ton of 5-hour energy down in that little gun room down there. But that's not Michael Myers though. Michael Myers walks. He's like almost dead inside, and there's just something like almost zombie, like the curse, part 6, the curse, I mean, that kind of explains the whole supernatural part of it, where he's cursed, and there's a reason why he can't die and all that, but David Gordon Green says that's not true and how he's going forward with these movies, so explain it to me. But all of a sudden, he's got all the power in the world, and he's quick as lightning. And this is the part where I thought, and I said this on the 2018 one too, I said, if you take this movie and you plop in another killer or a slasher or serial, whoever, create a new like franchise villain or some kind of slasher, you could have done it with these movies, because Michael seems to just be plopped in here. Whereas you could have plopped any kind of like serial killer or killer in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have rather seen that. And I get it. More than anybody, I want to see a new Friday the 13th movie so bad. I want to see a new Nightmare on Elm Street. I love all these. I grew up with them. That's why I got such passion. But I'd like them to, and I know you got to move with the times, but it's not about that. It's with me, it's stick with what worked, you know what I mean? And they're just going overboard. I think, like you said, with all of the kills and everything, I think they're trying to go Unfortunately, I think they're trying to go for a different audience. It's a different day and age.
Yes.
Even going towards the YouTube audience. Like, let's rank the kills now. What did he have? Like maybe 50 kills in this movie?
I mean, I will
He's
say...
He's approaching Jason.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that the
David
kills
Gordon
in
Green.
this movie are inventive.
Yeah.
They're well done. A lot of them are just straight up fun. Yeah, the gore factor and the blood spatter, it's boosted way up in this, especially compared to 2018 and the original. That was something I liked about Halloween 2018 because it had definitely more gore than 78. But even like when
he was not needed. But anyways,
but when he when he stomps on the doctor's head, it was a bit not exactly hidden, but it was done along with the flashing lights of the police car. So the red lights kind of diluted the all in all gore of it, which I thought they obscured it slightly. I really liked that.
Huh.
It's pretty much all out there in this. And it's fun to watch for the kills, and they are very well done. The effects of this movie are pretty phenomenal, and I like it's practical.
They're good, yeah. They're very good.
They do the flashback.
Hey, Bolsky.
Hi.
I just want to say real quick, sorry to interrupt, I always do that, but Bolsky, saw you on Doomcock the other day, subscribed to you immediately, great discussion, keep it up. Thank you very much, Doomcock, yeah, fantastic, hail, hail, hail. I do appreciate him having me on. William Curie, Halloween works best when the shape is just there out of sight, which makes the appearance more... Yeah, I mean, I like those kind of, and that's what I'm talking about. Good kills, you are right, Winslow Swan. Brooke, how you doing? Worded it better than I did, William agreed. Yeah. I'm just trying to see... I will buy the DVD, must be 1K nods from Halloween 1. Yeah, I mean, again... he's up there now with, Jason with the kills. Jason was way ahead, and I think David Gordon Green said, let's get the numbers up and let's get him with as many kills. But, most of the kills didn't mean a single thing in this movie.
No, although I did actually, with it was the first couple, and then Big John and Little John. I just want to hang out with them and be their friend and live in their amazing, gorgeous restoration of the Myers house. Michael should give them a thank you note. Like, man, you guys made my house look fantastic.
Oh, I know. They
gorgeous.
Yeah, Big John, Little John. They really fixed that place up.
And they just want to have a spooky party and dance to records and smoke some weed and just be in marital bliss.
And what's his name? Is Michael McDonald? Is that his name from Mad TV?
Stewart. I just wanted... Michael's going after him. No.
Yeah.
Don't.
Stop. No, I wanted... And I couldn't take him serious. When I seen him go even to the door, he looked comical. I wanted to laugh when I seen him, but it's because it's ingrained in my head that he was on Mad TV. But I like that. But Michael going back to the house, I could see that part of it. But, everything else where he just started going after everybody and killing everybody is just... It's just crazy. And I'm sorry today, guys. I'm not keeping up with the chat as much as I should. Once we slow down here, I'll try to. But, yeah, I mean, even all of the throwbacks. They brought the nurse back, from the original movie.
I don't understand why she was in Haddonfield. I don't think... She didn't live there in the...
No. It was the whole David Gordon Green. It was all for nostalgic reasons. He knew that people would talk about that. Look at what he did. He brought the nurse back, the sheriff, all these people from the Tommy Doyle, all these. Well,
not the same actor.
No, not the same actor, but you know what I mean. Some of the same actors from the originals, and I'm just like going, and the babysitter, I forget her name, but I'm like going, okay, big deal, Actually, the nurse that was in the vehicle when they were breaking up in groups, and I'll say that in a second too. Oh God, the nurse, when she gets it in the car, that was just all so stupid.
Oh, Marion. Yeah.
She was annoying the hell out of me. Marion
fires
should not have been in
the
there.
windows and then locks the car while you just. And
no, it was dumb. Give her a gun. Yeah.
Oh, but
everybody misfired their gun. They were shooting at walls and windows and everything but Michael Myers.
The lady. Oh, this was another thing that my husband had a hang up for. Well, first of all, I guess the woman, she was an actual doctor, but she's dressed as the nurse.
Yeah.
The gun that she had was a Desert Eagle. And apparently...
Let's break down the guns.
Well, apparently those are incredible. Like, those are very difficult to shoot. It requires a lot of strength.
Strength, yeah. Precision and
and she's just firing off like nothing, and then she had the most hilarious death.
RTN. Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. And speaking of weapons, let's talk about when everybody gets together and Tommy Doyle kind of, brings everybody together in the town, and he's running around going, "We need to kill this evil now."
It's like
Kill
the Beast in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, but Bolsky says it right. They did such a disservice to Tommy. I mean, the poor kid could have been this like savior and everything else, and no, not so much. But
he rallies up everybody, but he doesn't really accomplish much. He's all bark and no bite.
Yeah, he is. Does Anthony Michael Hall ever play anything other than goons these days? Unfortunately, I wish he got more. Better roles and stuff like that, because I loved him. I mean, he's John Hughes movies in the 80s. I mean, Anthony Michael Hall was it. I mean, he was fantastic. Well,
then he beefed up and then became like the bully. And,
I'm going to be the tough guy, the Johnny be good guy,
Yeah, he's the dick boyfriend in Edward Scissorhands. And
Yes. But anyways, I mean, he does try to rally these people, but in a way that his character and acting this way, heads up, eyes open, says the Death Twitch. What's going on? Nice to see you. Yes, we are talking Halloween, and I'm not happy with it. Although I'm not, I watched it, and it kept me somewhat entertained. But if you're looking at it through the eyes of I'm a Halloween fan, a Michael Myers fan, no, it didn't work so well for me.
Yeah.
You need... I'm sorry, you need somebody else to work on these films, and I think unfortunately.
Rob Zombie. No way.
That we tried that already, and it wasn't bad.
A different take. But anyways,
speaking of the mob mentality and him getting all these people together, he goes and gets the baseball bat. So Tommy Doyle has a baseball bat, okay, but. Everybody's going to gather up and get whatever weapons they got and stuff like that. And we were laughing because it's everywhere. People are talking about it. When they do eventually get together in the scene where they're going to take him down at the end, okay, which this scene, let's talk about this scene at the end of this movie. Not the very end, but towards the end, because it's all sorts of messed up. Everybody is there in like a big circle. It's like, what would you call it? Like, it's like those YouTube videos where big groups of people gather around two people fighting.
I mean, it did feel kind of West Side Story-ish. Like, they're going to take out their switchblades and start dancing. Like,
yeah, a little bit.
It's a rumble. It's a classic rumble.
Oh, rumble all the way. People coming with bats and even a wooden, like, not even a 2x4, but a 2x2, like a thin thing that would probably break once it hit over his head, but what got me in the background,
best character in the movie.
yes, if you look closely, there's a woman who's getting ready to battle Michael Myers. I'm working up to it, and I'm next, man. I'm going to get in there. She's holding an iron. An iron.
I love the dedication. She's just, I don't know what to bring. All right, got
that son of a bitch's wrinkles. I'm going to iron that killer's clothes. I mean, what are you thinking? Who Like, hey, you come over here. Maybe she was ironing like the set crew's, clothes.
Oh, she's
and David Gordon.
She's up on the costume department.
Yeah, and he said, "Come on, we need another person in here, and just grab whatever." And she grabbed an iron, and she made it in the movie, and didn't think anybody would talk about that. But I saw that, and I went, "What the heck is going on?" Right? Your favorite character, though? Do we need a lady with an iron, beating up Michael Myers? I would buy that T-shirt.
I think you need that in every horror film now. Like this is going to be her new career. She's just going to be in the background of every upcoming horror movie holding an iron.
Paul Ham says the mob look like the gang from Michael Jackson's Beat It video. Yes. I'm having fun at the behest of this movie, but don't get me wrong, I am a fan of Michael Myers. I don't know why I keep defending myself, because the movie made $50 million. It beat out everything. I mean, and it's still on Peacock and everything, and it still did well because people want these franchise horror characters on the screen. So no matter what you get, and I've said this before, no matter how mediocre, no matter how bad the writing is, they're just gushing for it, you know what I mean? And I don't know how many old school people really are loving it compared to the newer generation who are used to kind of a different type of movie, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of that going on, where they look past all the silliness of like, the story isn't, because I'm sorry, I mean, it's come to the point to where movies nowadays aren't as good as the old ones. They're just not. They're not as, most of them. Storyline, cohesiveness. If you can throw in action, kills, and vaguely put a story plot together, which this middle one kind of was, whatever, all over the place.
There's a lot of stories happening.
Yeah, then you could, have something, but it's just, they're not there in these newer movies, and I don't know what to say about it. But getting back to that big mob scene, okay? It's going down, man. It's going down, and they're going to beat the living crap. Well, they're going to beat him to death. They're trying, that's, evil dies tonight, right?
Yeah.
Chant it all up you want, but
and they chant it a lot.
Yeah. But they're beating the hell out of him, okay? Shooting him with guns, stabbing him with knives,
beating him with bats, with whatever.
Everything, and you think this guy is dead. And according to David Gordon Green, he's not supernatural. He should be dead. But why he was being beat up, I'm just like going, why is nothing going, why he's not fighting back? I mean, vague, barely, but he's not hitting nobody. The knife's not getting anybody. Almost like when the hanger went in the eye, you know what I mean? And,
right.
It's like kind of like that. And then he falls to the ground, and what happens? Aleece? Come on.
It's confusing.
What happens?
Well, evil did not die tonight.
No, that made him more powerful.
Yep, he gets up and wastes everybody.
Wastes everybody.
And apparently via
50
monologue.
kills.
Yeah, via monologue by Jamie Lee Curtis. You can't. He's driven by fear and by the...
Are you trying to explain it? Yeah.
Murder, by the people he kills, and that keeps him going, and therefore he can't die via violence or human... I see what you... I'm trying to make sense of it, and I still make...
But you're blowing the whole thing where he says he's not supernatural, and he's got to be supernatural, because you don't beat someone to death, and then they all of a sudden regain their energy, and then he becomes the man he was, whoever he is at the beginning of the movie. After all of that, he jumps up, and all of a sudden he's the ninja again.
Yeah.
He's like, You know, he's doing moves that I've never seen in a horror movie before.
Yep.
And props to them for that. But for Michael Myers, no.
Yeah.
Infinity Stone, what's going on? But for Michael Myers, no. I don't understand how he was beaten to death there and then regains his... I could see if they said he's supernatural. He can't die and he feeds off the fear of everybody. Although the fear should have been alleviated once they said, hey, he's dead, you know. So he gets back up and kills them all pretty much,
By Tommy, I almost said Tommy Jarvis, Tommy Doyle, Sheriff Brackett.
Yes, they all die. Tommy Doyle, that was kind of like, you know, a waste of a character in the movie that you thought would be big. Anthony Michael Hall's character, Tommy Doyle's character. I think it just wasted the whole thing. He's rallying everybody throughout the movie. And then all of a sudden, he gets killed. He gets killed in an easy fashion, you know. They were all prepared to kill him during this scene. But, you know, what happened? You know, Michael Myers ends up killing them.
Now, my thing, when he was on the ground and somewhat incapacitated, at that point, you know, get something like chop his feet off, chop his hands off. It's going to be a lot harder for him to kill if he doesn't have feet to walk on or hands to wield a weapon with.
I was going to say, if I was in that mob, in Dark Angel, the narrative is a mess. He's become an old man, and aging indicates human degeneration. Yes.
Yes, he's in his 60s.
Yes, but yet somehow he's become, I mean, he again... Nothing kills him. You could stab him 50 times. So the heart, all these organs, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So David Gordon Green, go do what you got to do. But you're full of shit, and he's supernatural. There's no doubt about it. I don't even know why you're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes and say that. He's just trying to do his own thing. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was a shame. And like you were saying, I would have, if I was in that mob, once he was down on that ground, they're like, he's dead. You don't stand there. And this is the one thing in horror movies that get to me sometimes. You don't stand there and just look at him. You take, hey, where's that knife? You take that knife. You make sure the head's off of the body, okay? I'd like to see him fight without a head on, okay? So you make sure that's off. And then you say, go start a fire. You know what I mean? Somebody build a little fire. And you burn it. You burn him. You know what I mean? He's decapitated. He's burned. A vampire can't. I mean, Dracula can't survive that.
Right.
But, well, I mean, you know, the ashes get buried. A little bit of blood comes down, drains in there. Yeah,
There's always a way.
But anyways, you know, Lestat was in a deep swamp, and eventually he came to life and, you know, regenerated. But you know what I mean? They will reboot it again after it ends. And then we will have 4 different movies titled Halloween. Well, yeah, David Gordon Green is kind of alluding to they're going to carry it on. I mean, if it keeps making this kind of money, he's going to carry it on. But what direction he's going to take it, I have no idea. But we do have Jamie Lee Curtis's character to look forward to in the next film. And to tell you the truth, as much as I love Laurie Strode in Halloween, you know, I think... It's got nothing to do with age. Well, maybe it does. I don't know. Get her out of the movies, man. Get her out of the movies. I don't know. Am I wrong?
I liked in 2018 and also the 3 generations of the Strode women coming together. I enjoyed that.
How about that in this?
She's completely sidelined. Like, she's just basically just laid up in the hospital for most of the movie and is just there to kind of to monologue and somehow give the audience information that I don't know how the hell she came to those conclusions or how she knows certain things, but and a lot of arguing like, oh, it has to be me because I caused this evil. Like, no, why does Laurie think that any of this is her fault?
Oh, yeah, I don't understand that either. Just because in the beginning, she played a little role into him coming back to Haddonfield and, you know, going on his murdering spree.
But it seemed like she blamed herself for what happened back in 78, and it makes no sense.
Well, and we come to find out, spoilers, that, you know, they do a 10-minute flashback at the beginning of the movie to let you know. Oh, and by the way, you know, after all of that, you know, Laurie Strode, her daughter, Laurie Strode's daughter, Karen, gets it.
Yeah.
She dies.
And I mean,
Sad.
I love Judy Greer.
I do too, especially in tell me, Arrested Development. Thank you very much.
Goodbye to thieves.
Yeah, boom. Oh, she was fantastic in that show. Arrested Development. Now there's something funny. But anyway, yeah, no, she gets it. But where was I going?
See.
The flashback at the very beginning. It's a little worked up here. I'm gonna need to take something after this. You got some booze over there?
No, just iced tea tonight.
Hey Tab 75. Survivor's Remorse. Yeah. Do you know when a series goes too long, your main character gets killed off? They go back and forget canon and make another reboot where she could die again. It's a long courtesy. Again, I don't mind movies going on and on and on and on. It's just, unfortunately and you can name them all. I mean, you can name, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, Leprechaun, any of the franchises, the farther they go on, the worse they get. I mean, it's like, I don't know why that is. Nobody can really do a good reboot. People love these fan films and say, oh, this is fantastic. Now this is the way to go, especially with Friday the 13th. They all suck. I didn't enjoy any of the fan films. Let's get them in snow. Let's get Jason in snow. Just so that, let's make a short fan film just so we have blood in the snow. That scene is...
There is one with... and it's a fan film, but
Jason, yeah. No, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, because I thought that was cool. Honestly, I liked it.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's something that they could do, and that actually was better than a lot of the remakes and stuff like that. So I give a hand to these people making fan films. They do, but my point is just nobody's getting it right. You know what I mean? They're not. It's the wrong people with the money to try and make them good films. But the flashback scene at the very beginning, they do a throwback to, it's 1978, and didn't look like it. Didn't look like 1978, but we come, yeah.
Yeah, except we do see Dr. Loomis.
That was cool.
And you know what?
How they did it was awesome.
Just all practical makeup to make the actor look like Donald Pleasance.
Yes.
And
I love they can do that now.
I was shocked because I was texting, with my brother and like, oh my,
is Donald Pleasance still alive?
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't look, it does, and because they didn't have an extreme close-up, he was only, not there for too long and partly in shadow, so you could get away with it, but that it was practical. It didn't have that uncanny valley like Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One.
Oh God, no, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they did an awesome job. And
I mean, again, props to the makeup, the makeup designer and the effects team, because pretty much everything is done practically, and you can feel that. That's something about this movie that I did enjoy, like with the kills, like these, it wasn't a CGI fest, and you could see the practical stuff, and I just love that.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, there's good elements of the film, and then but the throwback scene, you kind of get the what really happens that night, and that the cop Hawkins was the one who, I mean, he shot his partner who was in front of Michael Myers, and I don't know why he was doing that, except maybe he thought that the only way I could kill Michael was to go straight through him because he's dying anyways.
Yeah, or tried to get a headshot in, and
yeah, but I think that's more of what he tried to do because he had remorse through the rest of in all these years. You know what I mean? So he thought, no, it's not your fault, it's my fault. So.
One thing that was weird to me though, later on when he's in the hospital talking to Laurie, and he says, "Oh, my partner standing in that spot where he did." Right before he died, he realized whatever. I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
You didn't exactly have a conversation.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, you're flaws. I don't know what to say.
There was a lot of stupidity in this movie. Like, people act. I mean, in a horror movie, yes, you're gonna have people making dumb decisions because the movie has to happen.
And cheesy
but this one was just
but...
over the top. Like, just people doing things out of character or just completely. Like with Big John and Little John.
I was going to say, that's next thing I was going to bring up, because you said, would people do that? Yeah, and I think this, go ahead.
Well, they've been kind of harassed by kids doing, pranks, a really elaborate one, but they hear the knocking on the back door, the knocking on the front door. They left the back door open and realize that there's someone in the house. They see some blood on the door frame and someone's in the house. And it's not a child. So Big John locks the front door for them to see. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
I've got this knife. I've got this knife. And they search the house leave. Someone's in the house. Leave. That. Call the cops.
Right. First thing I thought was, you know what's kind of going on in the town.
You live in the Myers house.
Yes, you get the hell out of there. You get in a car and you drive to the police station, to wherever, but you get the hell out of there. Instead, like you said, they lock the door and he gets the little knife and
just a little paring knife or
and
whatever.
Little John gets the big one and he takes his robe off, he takes his necklace off.
Oh yeah, takes off his watches.
Ring and they're like, we're going to go kick his ass and kill him, and that happened so many times throughout the movie. And the way Michael, he did these in other films. Okay, yeah. Oh,
the couple, the doctor and nurse couple, when they're leaving the bar and Michael Myers is in the car and he goes back to get his stethoscope. I'm like, okay, you just learned that this murderer is at large, priorities man, but then she gets out of the car and she's like,
not to mention that
seat. Go look.
Yeah, and not to mention that he went back and let her go to the car.
Yes, go by yourself through this dark parking lot,
like if this was
safety in numbers, stay in the bar.
If this was a cheesy 80s horror movie from 1984 or something like that, that makes sense.
Yeah. I could see that,
but not in today's world. It's 2021. You don't. Yeah, let's make this make sense. Let's make the storyline around all of these killings make sense. Let's just not kill to kill. Even Saw, for all of the deaths and all of the kills and everything, and his gory and torture porn and everything else you want to call it, there was a story behind everybody's death and what would happen and stuff like that.
I mean, was it?
It's
were they good? Not necessarily, but there was some kind of some reasoning.
But yeah, it was really all over the place. And the hospital scene too. Let's see. If you ever wanted to see Michael Myers go full Jason Voorhees, then this is the movie for you. Yeah. True. And the hospital, let's really quick talk about the hospital. It's why the police, I know Tommy Doyle got everybody, let's get to the hospital because that's where he's going to go because Laurie Strode is there. And so I get it, but they're all packed, like sardines in a can, hundreds upon hundreds of people just filling up this lobby and this, it's just like,
just running through the halls.
Chaos is going to ensue,
Oh, one thing.
And Laurie gets stabbed in the gut, and she's up and about, running around.
Oh, well, because she injected herself with pain meds or whatever, so...
So now I'm coherent, and I can go, Michael!
And then that leads nowhere, because she ends up, bleeding through her stitches and just has to go back to her room.
Yeah.
It was so pointless.
Yeah, it was...
And why the room where they were keeping the, bring bodies in, and, there's a window, but I'm assuming at a hospital that's probably not in a general access area, and just everybody's
Right.
running by, and the one
Yeah.
kid's mom sees his body, and I feel like that would be just
Get
not
outta
where
here.
everybody can just go and walk by and be like, hell yeah, like look at all the dead bodies there, that's cool. It's not like looking at the newborns in the maternity ward.
Right, there was a window for the dead people coming in. Let's show them. Oh, look at the brand new death. Oh boy, he looks so beautiful. Yeah, it's a serial killer's dream. I mean, I don't know, you know, it's like what? But yeah, it was, the hospital scene was all over the place. It was just everybody going crazy. Like I said, it was like some kind of zombie fest thing. I don't know. It was, you know what? Somebody brought up, who brought it up? Bubba. He says the new Chucky series, finally, you know what? See, there you go.
First episode was good.
Yes, go back to practical ways of doing things. And Don Mancini, who everybody was going, the new Chucky movie, which sucked.
I haven't seen you're talking the Mark Hamill one?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, love him, and I know.
Again, if you've never seen the old Chucky movies and you've seen the new Chucky movie, you would go, "Oh, this is a great horror film."
Yeah, credit where credit's due, like for doing something different with it, but
connecting the Wi-Fi and everything else and controlling things, it was all over the place.
Again, but it didn't have to be Chucky.
Right.
Yeah.
No. You know, they tried to do something different. Whatever. But again, Don Mancini going back to the basics and simple and just doing things the way they should be done. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can do the same thing kind of with, you know, these Michael Myers, you know, Jason. Heck, if Jason isn't at a lake whenever they make this movie, you know, I'm going to be pissed. I don't want to see him anywhere but at a lake with a bunch of teenagers, 20-year-olds, who are camping. Okay, that's what I want to see.
Well, I want to see him on a really weird cruise ship and go to New York for 5 minutes. I mean, that's the best thing, right?
That was a pretty good scene. I did enjoy that. That was a good part.
The one part where he's actually in Manhattan, like, oh, that's fun, and that's all they could do because they had to shoot in Canada. But anyways.
Right. No. But some of those movies are just fun for, again, the nostalgia and the way they did movies back in the 80s and the early years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they were fun. I mean, Jason Goes to Hell was a pile of crap. I mean, we know that from the writing. I mean, you know, it was technically a script for another movie, and they just plopped Jason in there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say. Is there anything else to really bring up in here?
Let's see. What else? I wanted to point out this is a big week for the actor who played Cameron, Lonnie's son, and he was the boyfriend of Allison.
Yes.
Because he's in. I just binge watched season 3 of You over the weekend as well,
Okay.
and he's a
Yes,
major
Allison.
role in that.
Okay.
And then I saw him like, oh, this guy again. I'm like, okay, he's good, but yeah, this is big weekend for that guy.
Yeah, he gets, you know, his kill is something else.
It's a good kill.
You know, it's a good kill, but not from Mike. Well, you know, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I'll leave it at that. The way Michael did things was just so over the top that it did not remind me of Michael Myers at all. The way he moved, his persona, it just did not. It reminded me of a whole different character. And that's where I'm getting at when it comes to this film. I do like that, who was it here? Mick M808 says, after all of that talking that we did, says, did anyone see Halloween Kills? Is it as bad as I think it's going to be? Did you just pop in here? Do you got the thing on mute? I mean, we've been talking about it for like almost an hour.
When we we get done, you can go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, and I can't answer for you because you might not even be listening. I mean, what kind of question is that?
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention that made me happy with this movie. Since Halloween 2, I'm like, justice for Ben Tramer. And in this universe, he's alive. He's not, maybe he's not alive, but he's not dead because of Michael Myers or somebody thinking he was Michael and getting hit by a car and exploded against a van. Yeah. So yay, Ben Tramer, and now just justice for Big John and Little John.
Yeah, no problem, Mick M808. I'm just having some fun with you because that's all we've been talking about. And I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. Well, it comes across that way. You know what?
It's worth a watch. It's.
Am I going on record as saying it's a bad movie? I guess I'm the 50% out there who says yes. It's not a good movie. There's way too many things that throw me off. That I think it was a hot mess. There's people out there who say it makes sense for being the middle. What's going on here? Wait, my goggles. Did somebody? Who did that? Somebody's deleting messages. Be careful with the message deleting. I don't know what was said. It seemed to be a throwaway movie. Hope Halloween Ends really does it. Yeah, I think that was probably an accident there, Brian. Just making sure in the chat. But yeah, this the movie in a whole, I guess, yeah, I'm saying it's just I'm the 50% that there's too many things that I just don't like about it. And I guess, that's why it's hard for me to watch new films. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I did like, of course, I love Stranger Things. I like a lot of new stuff. Most of them are TV series, I like, a lot of those things, but these movies just aren't doing it for me. I think the last really good one was Midsommar. Love that.
Yes.
Hereditary was fantastic. Hit home, little hard, little rough to watch.
Hereditary is a tough one, but it's very well done.
Yeah. JLR is here. Thank you, JLR. But yeah, it's I guess I'm going on record as saying there's just too many things. And then when you see all these other little things, like even the iron, I mean, I can look past it. It was funny. This
what I mean? This movie had me laughing more than I expected, and I don't know if it was kind of
on purpose. Or?
Yeah, it was unintentionally. One scene when
could have been. I don't know.
When Lindsay is Lindsay, she was the little girl in the first one, and she's here all grown up, the same actress. But she actually she's running through not even really the woods. It's like a wooded area. But she hides there's this embankment and she's hiding against it, and you see the roots of the tree, and Michael's searching for her. And just the way that it's framed, I'm like, oh my God, it's the Hobbits, and Michael Myers is the Nazgul. They're hiding where they're in the roots.
Yeah. She's in the bog and he's walking around on the little bridge there and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know where Michael had the time to stage some of the things he does. Like with the two police officers who...
Even Big John and Little John, yeah. In the room.
Oh, that made me sad.
But he did.
Yeah.
He's always staged people, so that's a given.
But sometimes, especially the two cops that he kills, and I really liked them. Funny enough, when they're just sitting in the car and they're making jokes about each other's their dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Neither of them are actors. The one cop, he's actually, I think he's a PI. He was on set as a consultant, and then the other guy is the blonde cop. He's the makeup designer.
Okay.
But they do a human head jack-o'-lantern after he kills them. I'm like, how do you have the time to get the guy's head off, kind of scoop it out, and then put a candle or a light in there or whatever? That's an hour, at least an hour's long.
For 4 seconds, or not even 1, 2, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, because they glance by it, and it looks cool.
It's a very cool visual, but I just don't know when he had the time for it.
Which movie was it with the flare? Jason puts the flare in the head of the victim in the car.
Oh, yeah.
So that was actually taken from a Friday the 13th movie. I forget which one it was though.
Yeah,
but the flare, and it kind of lit up the face, kind of like that. So good idea. But again, I think a lot of things were taken just for just throwing things in for nostalgic reasons and stuff, and bringing back actors and actresses. If they concentrated just a percentage of all of that time it took to do all of that, on the actual writing and cohesiveness of this film, it probably would have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer, the 2018, for as much as I'm kind of tearing into this one, I almost gave a pass to the 2018 movie.
And I enjoyed 2018.
Because it was kind of fun, and the characters kind of made it somewhat more fun. And
it
a little bit slower paced, and
yeah,
I liked that.
And you could really see, John Carpenter is a executive producer. You could see that his stamp on Halloween 2018 quite a bit.
Yeah, no, 100%. And in this one, I think, again, kind of the opposite of that, and just all over the place. And again, people will go, well, idiot, it's because it's the middle film, and you're going to see the third one. I understand all that. It doesn't make what happened during all of this any better for me, any more sense for me. The way they did things, the woman with the iron, what's she doing there? The mob, like a movie, The Purge, everybody just walking around like they're. I swear to God, I was waiting for them to all turn, the veins to come out,
right.
and they were actually turning into something. Train to Busan, and
28 days later, the rage virus.
It's how the movie felt, and yeah, I mean, boy, the future, what the future holds for Haddonfield. I mean,
there is a Haddonfield at the end of this?
That's what I'm saying. Is there going to be a Haddonfield? Because I don't know. Would love to invite you to my local pub, says Martin Wright. Just don't ask why is there a circle with a 5-point star on the wall. Mwahaha. Okay, Martin Wright.
Sounds like a pub I would go to, honestly. So.
Spooky. Yeah. Well, unless they were really getting into some deep stuff, you got to be careful on that.
Yeah, that's.
Come on, Aleece.
It's an epidemic around here. Spook. Yeah. Witchcraft at bars.
Let's see. Anything else? So I'm a little late. I take it wasn't very good. Ben Kays. Ben, you may like it. I mean, I don't know. This is just me talking about the film. I think, well, not a lot of you, but back in the day before the channel has as many people on it as it does, people knew me for just hating new stuff. I rip.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy. And I'm that guy who, but I did it in kind of a comical way. I had fun with it, where everybody, you're a female, so I guess I'm not going to be as, how gross can I be?
You can be gross. I grew up watching horror movies, so it's okay.
Well, what bothers me with these is you've got the old ones, and I know everybody wants new movies, but you see everybody, especially when the 2018 was coming out, all these people, especially on YouTube, just jerking off to the fact that there's going to be a new Halloween movie. Just sitting in a corner, go, oh my God, I can't wait. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going, what the fudge are you getting so worked up for when you know what you're probably going to get? But yeah, no, it's and hey, it is. I guess I'm lost. I'm lost in a little universe that I'm not part of, because, there's a hell of a lot of people out there who just, live it 24/7. Like it's their thing. And they can't get enough of it, and I don't understand. I got the old stuff. I'm happy with that. I mean, I'm still going to pop in the original Halloween and maybe watch the second one too. Before Halloween here again.
Yeah.
It's something I always pop on. The original Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I always hit the originals because they're classic. That's why they become a franchise. But progressively they got worse and worse and worse. And I just am not excited by any of this stuff nowadays. There's no suspense in any of these movies at all. I may be wrong. I may be looking at it differently than anybody else. Do you?
2018, I thought that had a good amount of suspense and building
much more
up
than
tension
this.
and
Yes.
dread.
Yes.
But I think, a lot of fans of Halloween or whatever the franchise is, I don't think it's even so much expecting it to be great, but it's just the excitement of being able to go to a theater and watch a Halloween movie and then talk about it with your friends or on online, just to have have it, even if it's bad, but there's just that excitement of that thing that you are a fan of and enjoy being made new again, and bringing more people in and it being kind of celebrated, even if the final quality is the final product is not that great, but at least it's fun and it's something for fans to consume.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm a bitter I'm a bitter fan who just can't take it, don't understand, but Schultz, he says spoilers right on Dino. Hey, it's in the title, and I've said it over and over. You're going to get spoilers here, so. Balski says, I grew up on the Universal Monster movies in the very early 70s on a local channel in my hometown. I was 6 years old back then and have loved horror films ever since. Yes, that's, cream of the crop, but, definitely want to watch. I thought I saw something I needed to read. Dark Angel, Dino. People were hyped because Jamie Lee and Carpenter coming back, and it was the 40th anniversary. It was a decent film. Oh, exactly, Dark Angel. Yeah. Can I still disagree on the final project, that what we got, the film at its end? I can still disagree. I mean, but I did enjoy 2018 a lot better than this one. I did say though at the time I do wish that they would have popped another character in there or something, just make it a whole different movie. But that wasn't the point. They were rebooting Halloween, and I get it. And bringing John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis back, I get that too. But in the end, I don't think, you can go back and watch my old stuff on Halloween, the 2018. It's, there were a lot of things I didn't care for about it, but there were positive things I said about the movie too. It's just Jamie Lee Curtis just didn't do it for me in 2018 or this film. I mean, it's again, a lot of people loved her in 2018, and if they would have played her off a little different in the movie, I hated that she was this crazed, almost lunatic of a woman in this house, barred up for that many years. I just hated that.
So did you prefer the Halloween H2O approach to Laurie Strode, where she still has all of the trauma and paranoia, but has managed to cultivate a life for herself?
Yes, until something happens.
Yeah.
Michael comes back. I'm going to kick in the gear and whoa, wait, what? Michael's come back? Okay, let's go after it, because Ben K's $5 super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Going on my full moon hike tomorrow, so I won't catch tomorrow night's live stream. I like Sleepy Hollow. Here's this, an early happy Halloween. Thank you, Ben K's.
Thank you.
And yes, we will be talking Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton, tomorrow night. That'll be fun. I haven't seen that in a long time, so that's going to be fun. But yes, I would have rather seen something like that. The fact that she went through all of this, built this home, the gay, the traps, the booby traps, everything, and Yeah, I'd have to reflect back on the videos I've done on there, and I wasn't, figuring to talk on that too much tonight, but there were a lot of things about that I just did not like, and her just being cooped up in there and just dismissing her family because of all that. I understand people get scarred for certain reasons, but after all of that, he escapes this house, which shouldn't have happened in the first place. She's the
female John Winchester. Just raises her kids to be like these hunter warriors, and becomes emotionally distant, and like, you have to train you for the world because, and we have to defeat the things that killed my loved ones. Like, yeah.
Teresa, she brings up, how does Michael find Laurie so fast? Well, David Gordon Green would tell you he's just got good smell. Because
it's like they have a connect. Well, they did explain that in 2018 because it was the doctor who brought him to Laurie's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, Dr. Sardine. He smelled like fish. That's why they gave him that nickname. But that was one of the things with the whole bus thing. That was. One of the things I really did not like in that movie.
That he caused the bus crash so Michael could escape?
Yes. And then ends up getting it in the end anyways. And then the kid. And then, Dark Angel, 15221, $10 super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dark Angel.
Appreciate it. Just having fun talking about the film. I always have fun when I rip on movies. And if I'm going to rip on a movie, I go to the nth degree. I probably go a little too far. Because in the end, I watched the movie last night, and I wasn't bored. But, and I don't know if I'll watch it again anytime soon. That's for sure. It's not one of those films. I've seen it. It's over with. Thank you. On to the next one.
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it to see, just to see it and delight in the things that are good about it, but definitely not making any like top 10 lists or this is a movie. This is a movie I rewatch every year around Halloween.
Oh no, this ain't making my every Halloween watch list,
Nope.
It will somebody.
Yeah, and that's fine.
To somebody, this is their favorite Halloween movie. Do you know that?
I've seen some of the discourse. This movie is just so polarizing. It just seems you love it or you hate it.
That's what's
not a whole lot of middle ground, which is where I kind of am, but kind of more on the didn't think it was that great, but there are things in it I appreciate. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I really dig the content on the channel. Well, thank you, Dark Angel. I really appreciate it. These kind of discussions kind of used to get the horror community in an uproar. But I think it's 50-50 right now, I think 50-50 can, come on, this is a hot mess. And the other 50% are like, I really enjoyed it. But I haven't come across too many people who said, this was fantastic. I haven't seen that too much.
No, not too much.
No, it's, about boy, would I give it a 6 out of 10? I think I might give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, 5.
5 for you? Okay.
5. I'll give it 5.5 because the practical effects and the makeup was so impressive.
For Dr. Loomis alone.
Yeah, for Dr. Loomis.
It gets an extra 0.5. Yeah. No, it was something else. It's done and over with. I've said my piece, and I guess that's all I need to do. I just wanted to get it out there. Everybody else, if you want to, have an orgy of love over this movie, there's plenty of channels you can go watch.
But leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to see what you guys think. Yeah,
the one thing we do love to comment on after the show, but people, these are live streams, so people forget to do that. But I really urge people to go back and leave comments underneath. of what you thought during the whole thing, because I'm sure I missed 80% of what important things that people said in the chat. You know,
Yeah.
So if you put it down, we will answer it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and we didn't. I mean, we didn't talk about Allison
Oh,
at all.
a lot of
or
stuff we
Cameron,
missed. Yeah.
but this is just
an overall nitpicky kind of discussion on things, that didn't make sense, that we didn't like. I'd say definitely get to the iron scene. And again, that scene was, that whole scene that took place at the end there, you could say at one point when it happened, the first part of it, this is freaking awesome. Then the second part happens, and then I go, oh my God, this is the worst part of the film.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of up and down with me with this that kind of drove me nuts in certain parts.
it's just it's so uneven in every way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if somebody does make a T-shirt with the Iron Lady on it, I will so buy that.
Yeah. They should be pumping that out.
I'm sure somebody probably already has.
Somebody, get the rights.
I've seen on Twitter people doing art and stuff with it already. It's
okay.
It's amazing. So
I bet, man. Dark Angel, William Curie, I agree. William Curie says 4 out of 10. So got some people even saying a little bit. Christopher Nelson is awesome, says Bubba.
yes, the makeup.
Christopher Walken is great. Christopher Nelson.
Nelson.
I blew that. I was gonna say Christopher Walken was great, but
we'll see. We'll be talking about Christopher Walken.
Oh
tomorrow.
yes, tomorrow. Oh God, tomorrow's gonna be fun, you guys. If you want to get in this Halloween spirit, Sleepy Hollow's a good one to really get us in there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a lot of good things. I can't wait to talk about Christopher Walken. He I love that man.
He's a treasure.
He is something else. He's got a fever, and he needs more cowbell. Funniest skits on Saturday Night Live. So I guess that's we can wrap this up. Because I think we said our piece. I'm just looking at the chat real quick. But yeah, leave comments, you guys. Let us know what you thought of the film if you've seen it. Questions or what you think our take on it. If you disagree with certain things. She's known as Khaleesi MST3K.
MST3 Khaleesi.
MST3K. Okay. Yeah. So if you see her respond in the chat, it's her. So she's got a little bit longer hair whipped back there, but
yes, I do need to update my picture on there.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah. But that'll be hers. So do that, and it was fun talking about it. Sometimes I had more fun talking about it than I had watching it.
Right.
That's sad. Like Anthropic, Moon Lover, I think movies were 5.5 in 1978. I think movies were $5.50. Are you guys talking about the price of movies? Oh boy. Okay, so I'm out of it. Halloween Kills 1 through 5. I give it a 5. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I do wonder what they're going to do after this trilogy, but
yeah, for Halloween Ends.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, I kind of know what Halloween Ends is going to bring me. Out of when you've seen the first one, you see this one, and you know they're going to wrap it up, and how the storyline is right now. I kind of get where they're going and what the film's going to feel. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like it.
They could do, something unexpected.
Well, but they can, but everything else around it's going to be incohesive, and
hopefully it'll be better than the middle installment. And
if it's a little bit more like 2018, it might be. I don't know, but I can't get past this stuff that happened here. I can't get past it.
So you just go watch one of the other 4 timelines of Michael Myers.
Yeah, well, if they, I almost wish that David Gordon Green didn't say screw everything else. If they went along the lines of, the curse and all that, and tied in some other things, maybe they could have worked it in a little bit better, and the film would have been a little bit better. I don't know.
As far as Michael being supernatural.
Or even, getting rid of everything, I think, well, anyways, whatever. I think David Gordon Green had his own agenda. I think it was all about kills when it comes to the new Halloween. Make him as maniacal and as crazy as possible when I'm telling you, that's the farthest thing from a boogeyman. Boogeyman is going to spook you when you least expect it. Okay, that's the boogeyman. Frighten you to death. You know what I mean? That's the boogeyman. The monster is the guy who goes out there and kills whoever he sees, whatever he sees, whenever he sees it. That's the monster. So there's a big difference between the boogeyman and the monster. And David Gordon Green has turned Michael Myers into a monster. And that's not...
I see what you're saying.
That's not what they were going with through most of the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's... And don't ask me why that sticks with me as irritating me to death. But that irritates me. And it may be just that I like more of that slower suspense kind of, you don't know what's going to happen kind of thing. Don't just throw me in to a room where a bunch of killing's going to happen and it's like escape room or something. Not that wouldn't be fun if you didn't know if you weren't really going to die, but you get my point. But I guess we can probably start to end it. Got 45 minutes to some more CBS Radio Mystery Theater overnight. Man, did everybody love Johnny Dollar last night. I think it got to like 360 people watching at one point.
Nice.
That was fantastic. Good old Bob Bailey and some Johnny Dollar. But CBS Radio Mystery tonight, we're halfway through them, you guys. There's still another 35 streams to go with CBS Radio Mystery Theater. They're all fantastic, Aleece. I mean, mystery, suspense, a little bit of horror thrown in. I mean, what's better than that? So there you go. Thanks, my guy. Sent me Vader Reviews sent me here, says Bear. Vader Reviews. Let me write that down. I'm just going to make sure I know who that is. I never heard of that person before. But thank you all. Coffee, no sugar. Jason is camp. Michael is classic. Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I like the name Coffee and No Sugar. But you know what? Do I? No, because I need sugar in my coffee. And cream. So there you go. Last night was amazing. And a lot to do with Doomcock and Overlord DVD. Had a channel last night. That's why I wasn't in the chat at the start of last night's show, because somebody had me on their show to interview me about my channel. And the channel has 270,000 subscribers. The name of the channel, he had me on. I might as well say him too. I love the channel. He does a lot of long live streams too. So Overlord DVD. Let him know that the Late Late Horror Show sent you over. But fantastic interviewing me. I'm going to be on his show again.
I was great in that interview, wasn't it?
That was fantastic. Gave me a new outlook on, Aleece, turn just a little bit. This right here. Don't say nothing, but see this right here? Take a good look. I'm not saying nothing, but they pointed it out to me, and that's all I'm going to say. Needless to say, I'm going to change that setup in a little bit, but anyways, it's been fun, you guys. Edward Stewart says, thanks, Dino and Aleece, great job. Always fun here, right? Whether good or bad, whatever we're talking about, we have fun.
Yeah.
So
that's the important part.
Yeah, that's it's a little different. Oh, and Paranormal on Thursday. So I'll be saying that again. Doomcock Overlord DVD is excellent. Yes, Boski, you came over here from there, so yes, I do agree. And Boski, be sure to join me on Saturday evenings for trivia night for horror trivia movies, all over the place. But I get wild and crazy on those streams, and I say all kinds of things and have fun, and kind of animated on that show. Little different side of me.
All right.
Yeah, a little out there. People really enjoyed this last show. They were asking if I was on anything. And I said, no, I'm not on nothing. It's all me. But I had fun, and I was, I love to become a character that I'm not. You know?
Okay.
And just entertain and enjoy myself. So there you go. Takeo Demboski, Vincent Price, October, Vincent Lives. I'm seeing a lot of new faces here, a lot of new people. So thanks everybody. Love you and Aleece, all my horror friends. Teresa, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Love the scene when Dark Angel. I love the scene when she opens the gates to the fort and the werewolves walk in. What movie are you talking about? Okay, I gotta stop. We'll end this. Teresa. Aleece is gonna be here 2 days in a row, so I'm gonna get her out of here so she can go home. With that said, any last any last word you want to say to play us out of here for Halloween? Anything? Favorite quote or